My name is Scott Gravatt, and I plan to start in Mexico and walk all the way to Canada on the PCT, connected steps the whole way, hopefully with no skips and no flip-flopping. I was born and raised in Miami, Florida. It'll always be home to me, but 11 years ago I got a great opportunity to move to Portland for a job at Nike, and I fell in love with the city and the state of Oregon the minute I got here. I am a coach at Lincoln High School for cross country. I don't actually coach track and field, so I'm really just there for the fall. There's a head coach, and the coaching staff is just amazing. They're fantastic people, and they really go and lean into this whole idea of a student athlete. So the students come first, the athlete comes second, and then there's a whole holistic approach to just coaching kids in general, athletically, but also for life. It's a great community. One of the first things I did when I moved here to find out what Oregon was like was trail running. And I did it through a now defunct organization called the Oregon Trail Series, which was a series of trail races that took you to every corner of Oregon, east, west, north, south, middle. They were long distance races, some of them 50 miles, some of them 50K. But I had a really good time running all of them and got to see the entire state. Oregon's a playground. It's got everything. It's got the mountains and it's got the oceans, and everyone knows this, but it also has a whole bunch of awesome series of high alpine lakes that are amazing to be a part of, and everything from surfing to snowboarding to stand-up paddleboarding to hiking to trail running. It's got it all, and then on top of that, it's just got awesome people that you don't also always find in other states. I've been surfing my entire life, skateboarding my entire life growing up in South Florida. Those two things were something that I could latch onto. I think the surfing in Oregon is underrated. We get the exact same swell formations as you would get in Southern California without 10,000 of your best friends in the lineup. And the thing I like to tell everyone is to come to Oregon to go surfing, because everything is big and everything is beautiful. The mountains actually run right into the ocean, so while you're surfing, it's not pina coladas and bikinis, it's eagles, and it's bears, and it's mountains, and it's beautiful. About a year ago now, I lost my job at Nike, and the running joke is that it was really, really hard for me. And then about 10 and a half minutes later, it was the greatest experience of my life, realizing that I've been working for 30 or 40 years hard, and now I had some free time, and I could check off some big bucket lists, and my mind immediately went to an entire thru hike of the Pacific Crest Trail. As a warm-up for the PCT, I thought I would just thru hike Oregon. And because I knew if I didn't get to do the PCT, Oregon would be a nice little bucket list item for me. Again, like I said, I love this state, I love this place, and I wanted to physically walk from one end to the other. So I started in Cascade Locks and walked all the way to Ashland. It's 450 miles. I did it by myself and loved every second of it, and swam in every single lake that I possibly could, and just enjoyed being out there in the wilderness. This year on the PCT is different. I mean, every year is different, but this year is pretty extreme. The snowpack in the Sierra range, especially in the southern Sierras, has really changed everybody's plans as to what they're going to do. Every thru hike has its challenges, and one of the things that my thru hike friends and I say, or my hiking buddies like to say, is that every day has its challenges. It could be a water carry for 20 miles, which increases your pack weight like 5 and 10 pounds higher than you want it to be. It could be animals, it could be cold, it could be weather, it could be anything, but every single day is going to have its set of challenges, and that's part of the fun, is problem solving for that day's specific challenge. I think I'm most looking forward to the adventure in and of itself. A lot of people are skipping the Sierra right now and going to come back to it. They're not looking forward to the big water crossings or being in the snow the whole time. But I'm kind of out there for the adventure. I'm going to be safe about it. I'm not going to be stupid about it, but I'm looking for the adventure of a lifetime. And that's going to have some challenges that go along with it, but that's kind of what I'm looking forward to.
I started the Pacific Crest Trail on May 12th. Walked 700 miles through the desert. This morning, I woke up about 6 or 7 miles south of Elk Lake by myself on a peninsula, and found my way all the way to Cascade Locks. Hiked out to Elk Lake, hitched a ride, a couple of hours here, and here I am now. If I had to sum up in brief my journey from Mexico to here, I would say the first 700 miles was pretty awesome. You walk through 2 deserts in Southern California. I did it 700 miles, no skips, no flips, no 0 days, just kind of walked all the way through. Then you get through Northern California, you get through the Sierra section, and then you get through Northern California, and then you're in Oregon. I've had a couple of really best moments and not a ton of worst moments. I think the best moment so far was coming out of the desert at mile 702 and walking into Kennedy Meadows South. That's the entrance to the Sierra, and it just felt like such a moment. Everybody stands up, they clap for you, they hand you a beer as soon as you hit the deck. It's a pretty awesome moment, and it definitely almost brought me to tears a little bit. The second really awesome moment was a couple of weeks ago in Old Station, California, as I was flipping through some old PCT logbooks, and I found an entry from Cheryl Strayed, the author of Wild. And it was pretty awesome to see her own personal handwriting from 1995 and her adventures, and that was a pretty cool moment too. The worst moments are kind of boring. Running out of food is never fun, and that's happened to me once or twice. But overall, it's been a pretty amazing experience. One of the most surprising things about the whole PCT adventure is how social it is. I wasn't expecting that. I thought this was an athletic achievement and I was gonna walk from south to north, and I didn't realize how many people are invested in your journey. Every time I walk into a little trail town, the first question is, "Oh man, are you on the trail?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Can I buy you a beer? Can I buy you a coffee? Can I give you a ride?" So it's a pretty social event, and the kindness and the generosity of all the people that you met along the way to help you get to where you are is really, really cool. On the trail, food is a big subject. You're always hungry. I mean, we call it hiker hunger. After about 300 miles, there's not enough food in town. You can sweep into town and eat the entire town dry and then want some more. The worst food I've ever had? I don't think I have. I'm so hungry, I will eat anything you put in front of me right now, including junk food. I live off watermelon Sour Patch Kids, Oreos, and candy bars every night in my tent, and I still eat them like someone's looking at me and I'm not allowed to do it. And I'm just stuffing them down my face the whole time. After the trail, what's next? I have no idea. I'm on this journey right now. I don't have a job, and that's why I'm kind of walking the trail to suss it out. I'm 2,000 miles in of a 2,650 mile journey. I don't got the answer yet. So I got about 650 miles to figure out what I'm gonna do when I'm done. But I'll tell you this, I'm not gonna turn around and walk back. This has been a pretty big effort. I'll probably sit there for a day and just enjoy the fact that I finished the whole thing and walked straight through with no skips and no flips in 2023.